Here's what black people thought about the Super Bowl performance as well. And you're going to be surprised at the response.
I love Kendrick. I love the fact that being a hater can end up being a success. But this performance, I just thought it was really mediocre for me. Maybe because I'm not a hardcore Kendrick fan. There was a lot of the songs that I didn't know. I knew some of the mainstream ones, like when
he didn't even really go that deep. He did things that if you claim to be a Kendrick fan, you should actually understand. Am I right or wrong?
When SZA came, I was like, yes, twin. The rest of them, I don't know. I thought the visuals was amazing. We had Samuel Jackson come on as Uncle Tom, and then obviously the dancers came and the American flag, and then obviously he performed They're Not Like Us. I just thought it was an okay performance. There are a lot of people on the internet who are like, oh my God, you just didn't understand. One thing I cannot stand is fake deepness.
Can a UK woman speak on what black people feel is right or wrong? I really want to know that, because I think that performance was for black Americans. I don't think it was for UK, woman of UK. Let me know your views.
I come to watch the Super Bowl to watch a performance. I didn't come to think. I don't want to feel like I'm reading a book. So when I'm seeing, but you did not understand the allegoric significance of when the dancers were wearing blue, and the blue means it signifies the sadness of the Americans. I just want to dance. I don't want to watch a performance and then have to read a book to understand what the performance was about.
See, now that's the point right there. Like, sometimes ignorance has no color line. You know what I mean? Anybody can be really ignorant to what they think. Am I knocking what she feels? No, I just feel that she's going about it from a small mind. I don't think it was overly technical. He performed some of his biggest songs that a lot of people know, and Not Like Us just happens to get a lot of fame right now because he just happened to get a Grammy, a week before then. All right, welcome to Rich House Reviews, man. We are here to be honest about things involving the culture. Make sure you guys definitely subscribing at the top bell if you like the conversation over here. I want to know y'all views in the comments, though. All right, let's see what else we got on here, man. See what else.
People that in this life, I don't think they have ever had a bright thought or idea in their life. If I'm being very honest, I don't think they've had a thought before. Or if they have, it has always been more evidence that they are actually not really thinking. Every time they try to speak, it never sounds like their brain and mouth have ever found harmony. And it's funny because some of these people have very big platforms with a lot of listeners, subscribers, watchers, audiences, where they go on to spew the most thoughtless things about topics that they are very uneducated about. But because everyone is talking about it, they want to jump on the trend too, forgetting that they do not have the skill or mental range to handle it. Which is even worse because some of them know they do not have the skill range to handle such discussions, but they still engage in it, but they want to be different. So they're going to say very stupid, off-putting things. Like, for example, you're witnessing a history-altering event that is not just entertaining, but is beyond entertaining. It is necessary, considering the amount of discourses that event has brought up. But because, one, you feel like the discussions that are stemming from this event are not your business, which, mind you, in some way, shape, or form, they still are, and because you do not have the brain power to dissect issues beyond, jaye, you open your mouth to say, the Super Bowl is not supposed to be something that will make me think. I didn't go to the Super Bowl to think. I went to the Super Bowl to dance.
I think that you wake up in the morning to think, and to say that you don't want to think just sounds, that was pretty stupid.
The Super Bowl halftime show is supposed to be about dancing. Why do I feel like I'm being made to write a school paper? Baby, have you ever been in the four walls of a school? And if you have, I have a lot of questions for both your parents and your teacher. Because what happened to trying to give you some critical thinking skills? Is it that you just refuse to think? You guys are surprised when this same person came on this same internet to talk about Chloe Bailey and how she was acting a sex scene and it was wrong.
Give me the backstory on who this woman is.
Talking about she doesn't know where she's going with her brand. But then in the same breath, praise the man that she was in that sex scene with for a movie with 2 adults. A lot of you found out that she didn't have sense in December after that entire discourse. But some of us have known.
Okay, sir, we don't need that. We don't need that snappy snap. Gonna slide down. Let's see what else other people got to say on here, man. You getting too critical.
Attention to what the event is trying to tell you. I know she's making a lot of Africans look bad, but we don't know her, okay?
This Madam Joy situation is actually kind of crazy and brings up a very interesting conversation around the kind of link between Black Brits and Black Americans. But a few of you have tagged me in this specific video, and other people have just added me in responses to this video, and it's incredibly interesting. To give you the context, Madam Joyce on her show, I think it was, she came on and she basically said that she didn't really enjoy the Kendrick Lamar halftime show at last weekend's Super Bowl. Obviously, that's her opinion, and she's entitled to it. And because Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show did have a lot of perceived racial and social and political messages in there, a lot of the people responding to Madam Joyce aren't quite happy. Also, it's very funny that a lot of Americans are like, oh, Black Brits just don't understand. I will tell you this for free, Madam Joyce does not speak for all of us Black Brits. If you literally just read my name, my whole page is about American sports, American culture, all that type of thing. It's something that I'm deeply passionate about. I've researched, studied, blah, 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 blah. You could look at the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show in two different ways, from an educational aspect and an entertainment aspect. All Madam Joyce has done is she's looked at it from an entertainment aspect, and when it comes to an entertainment aspect, she just didn't find it very interesting. She also goes on to say that it's not everyday think, and while I do disagree with that part, again, she's entitled to her opinion. But I think what Madam Joyce has done ultimately with her response, and that a lot of people have done as well by responding negatively to the Super Bowl halftime show, is they basically proved Kendrick's point right. Samuel L. Jackson, who was playing the part as Uncle Sam, stated in the Super Bowl halftime show that Kendrick was too reckless, too loud, and too ghetto, which is often a prevalent stereotype of hip-hop music, African-American culture, but also Black people as a whole. And the way that I see this is Kendrick is trying to tell us that when we entertain these people,
but I think it's American Black culture, though. Like, I don't think it's just Black culture, you know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. Like, one of my best friends, man, he lives out in UK. And I think that, and he lived here before. And I think that there is a big division in what Black culture is in America and what UK Black Brits might be. Like, for instance, I think Black people are like 1% in UK. It's a pretty low number. So at 1%, it's like the majority it's not a majority push for that type of a thing. And over here, I think there's more Black people in its entirety.
Well, it's all good, but when we try to educate these people, they're not having any of it. And so while I can kind of understand where Madam Joyce is coming from when she's saying this stuff on her show, I think ultimately her and other people that didn't really like the Super Bowl halftime show might have just not got the message. And at the end of the day, it has brought up a very interesting conversation about how African-American and Black British culture might align, because at the end of the day, we're all the same colour. I'm not going to go too in depth about it because I've already done a video trying to break down the Super Bowl halftime show. If you do want to watch that, please do. You can just click the playlist down below. I've already added it into the playlist for this video as well. But to any Americans that watch this video and went, oh, these Black Brits, trust me, she doesn't speak for us all.
The Super Bowl to watch a performance. I didn't come to think. I don't want.
And that is our fucking problem. This is why the world is the way it is. Give them bread and they will never revolt. Nobody wants to think. Everybody wants to be entertained. Everyone wants to remain intentionally obtuse.
Black people, why we couldn't just watch the Super Bowl? Like, let him do all that. Damn.
Dumb, intellectually lazy. And this is why when the world becomes worse and worse, people want to come and ask questions. How did we get here? Oh my God, what is this? This is why. This is how it starts. Because when people can't automatically understand a piece of art or something that's going on, and they have to actually read between the lines and use some critical thinking skills, all of a sudden it's too much and they don't want to do it. And they complain and they pout and they moan and they whine about why this is so deep and this is just doing too much.
I mean,
but then we wonder why the state of the world is the way it is.
She's probably
because
lazy.
Nobody wants to exercise some media literacy skills. Nobody wants to think bigger picture. Nobody wants to think, what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? Nobody wants to understand that it's not art imitates life. It's not life imitates art. It's really art imitates life. That the things that we're seeing right now happening in the world is really a state of the hearts of people, the minds of people, and the tricks that the government is doing because they know that we will allow it, because they know that we are constantly okay with having wool being pulled over our eyes, and as long as we're entertained and as long as we're kept busy and distracted by a bunch of frivolous things that don't actually matter, we won't look deeper, we won't probe, we won't study, we won't investigate, we won't seek out truth.
I mean, that just matters to the person. I think if you have common sense, then you're going to do research. I don't think you're going to speak on things without knowing the context in which you're speaking on. You know, you guys can agree or disagree. I think a fool would just go argue with a bunch of people that don't even have a side and don't understand where they're coming from.
Past more than what we're just given at face value. We won't actually do any of that. And so we won't actually demand change, and change will not happen. And the elites and the government, that they will continue to do exactly what they do and what they want to do. And so when this world turns into a total dystopia, we will have those same people have the audacity to come and ask where we all went wrong, when this is how it starts.
I just want to dance. I don't want to watch a performance and then have to read a book to understand.
Well, you're a black Brit. You don't live the black American experience. You don't experience the black American experience. The most you can either do is either talk to us black Americans or read up on
That's deep.
What's going on with black Americans here in the States. So, of course, you didn't understand this performance because it was specifically for us.
Yeah.
The analogy of it being a game, because he used the whole game over shit. Yeah, babes. That was literally, the whole performance was about black Americans playing the quote-unquote great American game, which is why Samuel L. Jackson was dressed up as Uncle Sam. Not Uncle Tom. Uncle Sam. You're not a black American, so you don't get it.
That's deep.
You're never going to get it. You're not like us. Simply put. That's why.
Keep your damn mouth shut.
I do feel like, you know, I like when everybody speaks, you know, and I would hope that whoever's in the comments right now feels that they can speak. I don't want to shut down nobody's opinion. I do think that if you do speak, then you're asking people that had a response, and that's exactly why we're here. Other people have added their response to what they felt about what she said. I think it's just ignorant to speak on things that you don't know nothing about. I do want to hear your opinion. And I do think opinion should be respected, whether it's just good or bad or whatever you perceive it as good as bad. But I think the black experience of living in America just as a black person is something that you would have to understand. I think a white person in America would probably understand a black person's more than a black Brit. As soon as you say research, it's researching and it's being in front of it, just as well as the experience that goes on in being in Britain. I don't know what the experience is out there. I would have to do my research, or I would have to rely on what a black Brit says. So this is a good debate. I want to know what you guys feel about this right now. Make sure you guys subscribe. I got 3 other channels above my head. Hit the top bell, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out of here.